Alright. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you each of the ground rules, making sure that we are going ahead and being kind to each other, not using foul language, and being respectful of the other when they're talking. Okay, and Abby, Frank said he would be okay with going first. Are you okay with that? Okay, perfect. Oh, okay, hold on one moment, Abby. Please just remember the ground rules that we had set. I understand motions can run high, but right as soon as he's done, we can go ahead and go on with your side as well. Okay, so Frank, what I hear you say is that you want this done as quickly as possible. You've moved on. You're willing to compromise on certain things, and you feel hurt, but you want to be fair. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So, what I've written down that you hold most important to you is the camper, Ford F-150, jet boat, enclosed trailer, golf cart, patio furniture, aquarium with a fish, the four-wheeler, Buffy, the lizard, the computer and printer, TV, power tools, and wedding photos, and the wedding ring, and the garden tools. Is that correct? Okay, perfect. Okay, and Abby, you can go ahead. Okay, Abby, please refrain from swearing. We had the ground rules at the beginning. We've noted it already. I know emotions are high, but if you could just refrain from swearing, then that would be a better situation here. Okay. Do you think you can continue mediation? Okay, perfect. Okay, Abby, so what I'm hearing you say is that you are feeling a little emotional because of excuse me. So what you're saying is you're feeling a little emotional because of the whole situation was sprung upon you. However, you do want to continue mediation today, and the items that you hold really important to you is the wedding ring, patio furniture, the Honda Accord, the lizard, Sally the cat, the quilt, the piano, the four-wheeler, garden tools, and then the wedding photos are important to you due to memories. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. So while we're moving forward, I just want to remind you that it's important to work together, because if we don't work together, this could lead back to court instead of making it a decision that you are able to. So what I'm going to go ahead and have you do is I did write down on the piece of paper what items that we are focusing on. So if you would want to take a look at that, and you had mentioned some ideas that were more important to you. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark those real quickly. And then if you'd like to discuss those items first. All right, here you go. All right, here you go. Perfect. So if you could go ahead and discuss those items, and I can listen, and I'll be taking notes just for record keeping purposes. Okay, perfect. So just to make sure I know what I'm hearing, Frank, you want to have the F-150, the power tools, the golf cart, and the enclosed trailer, and then Abby will have the Honda Accord, piano, and quilt. Is that okay? Is that right? Okay. Is that okay with you, Abby? Okay, perfect. So then we can go ahead and get that marked through there. So now there was items that you had both said that you wanted. If you would want to go ahead and discuss those. Okay, Frank, please, we want to remember to be respectful. In order to have this be a successful process, please make sure that you're refraining from using that type of language. All right, you guys can go ahead and discuss. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of at a stalemate here, but we have made some progress. So I am just going to go ahead and review those. And what I'm hearing you say is that Frank will be getting the four-wheeler and Abby will be getting the patio furniture, garden tools. Do I understand that right? And Abby, is that your understanding as well? Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and mark those down, and we can come back to the wedding ring and the wedding photos later. So then let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so Abby and Frank, if you want to go ahead and communicate about the pets, Sally the cat, Buffy the lizard, and the aquarium. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we have a pretty quick agreement there that Abby is going to have Sally the cat, and Frank is going to have the lizard and the aquarium. Is that what I'm hearing you say, Frank? Okay. And Abby, is that you're agreeing to that? Okay. Perfect. I'll go ahead and note that down. Now we have some items that neither of you indicated was specifically important to you. If you want to go ahead and discuss those items now, I know it is kind of a list, so if you want to start with your lowest three, or you guys can go ahead and discuss that a little bit further. Okay. Abby and Frank, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take a few minute break and then we can come back to discussing this. Okay, welcome back from break. I hope everyone had a time to get a drink or clear their minds a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what I heard right before we took a break, and then we can move on from there. So what I have here is that Frank, it sounds like you'll be getting the twin set bed 32-inch TV as it would fit better in your apartment, and you are okay with Abby having the queen size bed, the 34-inch TV, and the 40 DVDs. Okay, and does that sound appropriate to you, Frank? And you, Abby? All right, perfect. So I will write that down. You can continue discussing respectfully. Just before the break, it did get a little heated, so I just wanted to remind both of you, even if you need a break, just make sure you let me know. But this is supposed to be a respectful process where we're just trying to get to the bottom of things and figure things out. Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Okay. Abby, what I'm hearing you say is that he can have the computer and printer because you do not use them. Okay, Frank. All right, perfect. And Frank, I'm hearing you say that you do not need the refrigerator, couch, or dishwasher. I apologize. Excuse me there. The dishes. All right, perfect. Sounds good. And then what I'm seeing here is, or what I'm hearing here is, Frank, you would like both of the Oriental rugs, and you're okay with that, Abby? All right, perfect. I will go ahead and mark those off. And I understand this is not ideal, but we're looking at compromise. I will write these down. What is left is the wedding photos, the two end stands or end tables, the Jeep Wrangler, china, 3 lamps, Christmas decor, riding lawnmower, washer and dryer, cookware, sterling silver, and the camper. Would you like to discuss those now? Okay, perfect. So what I'm hearing Frank you say is that would like to take the sterling silver, the camper lamps and end tables, washer and dryer, and the china. And Abby, what I'm hearing you say is that you would like the Jeep Wrangler, Christmas decor and riding lawnmower, and the cookware in exchange. Is that okay with you, Frank? Okay. Is that okay with you, Abby? Perfect. Well, we're going ahead and moving right along here. So all we have left is the wedding ring and the wedding ring, the boat, and the wedding photos. Okay. Okay, perfect. And so now what I'm hearing you say is you would be willing to exchange the boat with the wedding ring. And how do you feel about that, Abby? You would be okay with that? All right, perfect. We'll go ahead and mark that down. Okay, and so then let's take a look here. It looks like just the wedding photos are left. So I know that this was a topic of contention before, so I just want to come into this just reminding to remain respectfully. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try a different approach. Abby, could you explain to Frank why you feel or why you would like the wedding photos? Okay. Okay. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Abby, is that you have family members that have passed on and you would really like those for sentimental reasons because you don't have any other photos with them and it makes you feel more connected to them. Okay. And Frank, can um, can you respond to Abby or can you um, respond to what she said? Okay. So what I'm hearing you say, Frank, is you didn't understand that's why she wanted them, and that you would feel more comfortable with giving her some of those photos. So how would we like to do that? How are we going to split the wedding photos? Okay. So what I'm hearing is it doesn't sound like something that you two would be able to go over together. Is there some other way you would like to resolve that? Okay. So what I'm hearing you say, Frank, is that you would be okay if somebody else went through the wedding photos and did split them up. Does that sound okay with you, Abby? Okay, perfect. We can do that. So just to make sure everything is noted here before we leave, what is a or who is a person who you feel comfortable with doing that? Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Frank, is you're okay with your friend Marcy and Dave doing it as long as Abby's the one who calls them. And do you feel comfortable with that, Abby? Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and write that down. And then okay, so what if Marcy and Dave don't feel comfortable doing it or don't have the time to do it? Who would be your second option? Okay, so each of your moms, as long as they're doing it together, you would both feel comfortable with that? Okay. So how long do you want to give Bob and Karen to go through them before we would have your parents step in? Or your moms, I apologize. Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is, I apologize, Dave and Marcy would be able to get 1 week, and then your parents, your mothers would have 1 week following that. And if that didn't, oh, okay, okay, I understand. Just make sure that we're letting be respectful here, Frank. So if that did not work, who is there a third option that you'd like to do? Okay, okay. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Abby, is that you would be okay with your sister doing it. If are you comfortable with that, Frank? Okay, you're not comfortable with that. That's understandable. Let's think of a different solution or last resort. Okay, so you're what you're saying is that you would feel comfortable um, with Bob and Karen doing it instead of Dave and Marcy if it came to the last week. Are you comfortable with that? Okay, so Dave and Marcy, we have and then give them 1 week. Your moms will give 1 week, and then we'll do Bob and Marcy, and we'll give them 1 week. Or how? What are you feeling comfortable with? Okay. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Abby, is since it's last resort, you'll do 2 weeks just in case. Are you comfortable with that, Frank? Okay, perfect. We'll put 2 weeks down here. So then let's go ahead and plan out how you're looking at exchanging items. So from my understanding, Frank, you have all the items with you, and so we would need a way to get those back to Abby. And okay, okay. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Frank, is that since you have the truck and trailer you would be comfortable with dropping those off for her. And how do you feel about that, Abby? Okay. Okay, so for what I'm hearing you say, as long as we make a date and time here where your mom could be present, you would feel comfortable with that? Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and do that. And then, let's take a look at that. What are we thinking as far as a date that you would have it dropped off by? Okay, so what I'm seeing is 3 weeks from now on Tuesday. Does that work for you? All right, perfect. So we'll go ahead and put that down here. And then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to verify that I have everything correctly, and then we can proceed with it. So what I have here is, Frank, that you'll be getting Buffy the Lizard, the printer, the 2 end tables, golf cart, china, the Ford F-150, the camper, the 3 table lamps, the oriental rugs, the power tools, the 4-wheeler, jet boat, aquarium fish, and 32-inch TV, the computer, the sterling silver, the twin bedroom set, and the washer dryer, and the enclosed trailer. Does that sound what we agreed on? Okay. And Abby? Okay, perfect. So that totals up to 127,210. So then we have Abby. What I'm seeing is you'll be getting the refrigerator, the queen size bed, Jeep Wrangler, Sally the cat, 40 DVDs, the 52-inch TV, the quilt, Christmas decorations, riding lawnmower, the Honda Accord, the wedding ring, the dishes, the couch, the garden tools, the piano, the cookware, and the patio furniture. So for 118,580, and keeping in mind the Sally the cat is considered priceless, so we have that as well. So does that sound okay with you, Abby? Okay. And Frank? Okay, perfect. So then what we will do is the last item, just to re-go through it, is the wedding photos, and we're going to give Dave and Marcy a week to call. Abby's going to call them, and then give them a week to go through them, and then 1 week that each of your mothers would be able to go through them if Dave and Marcy cannot, and each of you would be calling your prospective mothers. Is that correct? Okay. All right, and then last but not least is Bob and Karen. They would have 2 weeks and to go through them. Okay, and which one of you would be calling? Okay, so from what I'm hearing is Frank would feel comfortable calling Bob and Karen. Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and write that in. And Abby, that's okay with you? Okay, perfect. So then what I'm going to go ahead and do is write that down here. And then we just have the sorting out with in 3 weeks on Tuesday, May 2nd, I apologize, 3 weeks, May 2nd, that's when you would be dropping off the items. Okay, perfect. And that's good with you, Abby? Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and put May 2nd down here. And then I just want to thank you both for having a successful mediation. I appreciate all the effort that both of you put into it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write this up, and then I'll have both of you sign it, and we can go from there. Is there any questions at this point? All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Abby, and thank you, Frank.